Welcome everyone to Talks on Tuesday. Today, I am Julie. Yes, Talks on Tuesday, every Tuesday. And we have many topics that are spiritual, metaphysical, supernatural. And so today, we had some really nice suggestions, and thank you guys for sending them to us. Today, I was thinking about um, how do we recognize that we are light? How does it manifest in our experiences, in our life? How is it when we kind of think about it and go and internalize how does it help us to balance in our life, in our experience, how to keep us balanced uh and yeah, so uh it's a really good question, and I'd like to hear other people's responses. I am not sure. I think that how I recognize that I am the light is more, yeah, Louis Therese.
For all with the beautiful discussions that's going to follow.
Yeah.
For me, how do I know? Uh, I know that there was a time that my life had a lot of difficulties and things just went wrong and everything. And then I started to realize that it is as if I push everything that is negative or not beneficial to me totally out of the way. They don't even get close to me. And if I do, it is a lesson, and it is not that hard lesson. And it is, I can really say, my whole life and attitude is completely different. And I believe it is because I believe there is a light in me because I had love and gratitude. And that keeps a lot of other things away, even illnesses, bad luck, heartache, and things like that. So I've opened the floor.
That's great. Yeah. That's a recognition of your light, right?
Yeah, but I mean, but you said, how do you recognize that there is
Right.
light in your life? By
Exactly.
that it is a different frequency that you are aware of, and that it keeps other things away. That is how I have become aware that I have a light in me, and other people see it and they recognize it. Uh, it was a long time before I recognized it myself. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to share about Renee, welcome. Good.
Um, I probably would need to say that the light works through me. I am not the light. I don't own it. I have no idea how it's going to manifest or how it's going to present itself in my life. I have to trust that there's something guiding me, guiding my life, guiding all the actions and steps that I take. But I think that I'm aware of the presence that is working within me, that is always with me. And it's got nothing to do with me. I don't, as I said, I have no idea how it's going to present itself. I just have to be willing or willing to be willing to take the next right action that I'm being shown. And that light, I guess you could interpret lightness of being. That's part of being in the light. Having levity, having a sense of humor, having detachment, being able to see the absurdities of things when they happen and not get bogged down by them. Like here, I'll just share a funny story. Last week I couldn't speak, but last week I discovered that I had some popcorn husks lodged on the roof of my mouth. And I had a bump, which I had no idea what this bump was. I couldn't swallow, I couldn't eat properly. And for 2 or 3 days, that's what I had to deal with until I started to rinse my mouth out and they disappeared. So, you know, life presents kind of and anything sometimes, but you have to be able to just roll through it and get all boggled down. Most things aren't worth getting boggled down about. So to have a sense of humor, as I said, is really important. And
Yeah, you broke up at the end there. Renee, did you finish? Sorry. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcome, Cecilia. We're just talking about how we recognize the light that we are, or the light in our life, and um, how it helps us in our life or in our experiences. And I will just say that one second be that I feel like when I say I am the light, it's the light that is like the divine, I guess. And to recognize that, for me, kind of, I think it has a lot to do with my interaction with people, and where when I feel that connection, that uh and again with animals, I always say that. And but then again, I also always have to be reminded about that we are light beings. It's our being that is shining through. Okay, Barbara.
Thanks, Jules, and hi,
Can't
Cecilia.
hear you, B.
Oh, let's see. So I've actually enjoyed listening to Louis Therese, Renee, and what you were saying, Jules, about the light. And what I heard and what I feel is really it's more about remembering. I know um, that I am light. Not only is it within me and through me, I mean, we are all just manifestations of light, just kind of like compressed in different formats. But it's really the remembering that is the challenge, when we go about our day-to-day lives. And I find that when I'm feeling a little blue or a little frustrated about something, I will just sit quietly and just remember that this is me. I am light, I am just all that is, and there's nothing more. And that helps to, I guess, reconnect me, to that knowledge and awareness that I am and we all are just kind of source. So,
Thank you.
so that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Yeah, I think also, I was just thinking about it. When you do sit and remember, and well, it's kind of like you play in the frequencies, um, that will also help you. And then there's that sense, well, I don't know if it's a sense, but of rebalancing yourself, on several levels. Yeah. Taking comments. Chelsea.
Um, last night I laid in bed and I felt a little depressed. And then I, I thought, okay, I'm going to allow that. And then I thought about how, a lot of times we define a little bit of depression as being tired playing the character that we are, keeping up with the character that we're playing. And that reminded me that there's something behind the character I play, something bigger. more ever present. And this morning I was getting ready in the bathroom. We have one window in our bathroom, and it's on the north side. And so it's a pretty shady window. But I was really struck this morning because it's a nice sunny day, but where we are on the calendar year, the sun was really shining in my bathroom window, highlighting the wall and the fact I needed to clean all the lint and the, you know, loose hairs off the wall. But I thought that was some sort of analogy for, that it is November. I mean, it is the winter, and that is a north window, and it's not very sunny. But then I got to thinking that the change in perspective highlights different areas. So even if it's a little shady per se, that the light will come in and shine different. And it kind of struck me, and I really didn't know if I could get that analogy across. But even if it's I guess if it's, for me, even if it's a shadier time, the light will shine different, and that difference will alert me to, look here, look there, look differently. And maybe that keeps you out of the rut a little. So thought I'd share that.
Thank you. I think I get what you mean. Yeah. And like your depression, or you felt kind of depressed, but in a way it's okay. It's kind of, you don't have to think of it as something negative, but something that, that is helping you in some way. I don't know. Yeah.
Everything's on a cycle, and we've just went through the holidays, the Thanksgiving and the Christmas, and 3 or 4 get-togethers, and it's just natural to, slow down a little bit.
Right.
And I liked how you said how the light kind of illuminates some of the grime and dust and things that maybe aren't the shining examples, but it's still there. It's still part of us, and that's okay too.
Thanks, Pete. My goodness. It's quiet.
Cecilia, I love your background, speaking of light.
Cecilia.
Hi.
Hi.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I love that analogy. Thank you, Chelsea. That was beautiful. I was feeling off recently because I don't know, just things were changing and everything was going to be different. And and I was in sadness, and there were tears, and I was just really, really off a few weeks ago. And all of a sudden I heard how exciting. It's like, and it threw me because I've heard that from this person that I heard here channeling, and I was like, how exciting! And whenever he says that, it's to throw people off, and it really did. I was like, okay, so this is happening. This is changing. This is going to be different. So what am I going to? How am I going to respond? What do I get to choose for me in this experience? So, okay, so it's changing. How exciting, how neat that you get to make a new choice. It's like, yeah, that's right. And it really threw me, and I couldn't go back to being sad anymore. I had to get really into okay, what do I choose now? What do I choose? And it was really different because, like you said, you saw the cobwebs. It's like, what are you going to do about them now? You're going to look at them. You're going to what? You're going to clean them. You're going to do something about it. So that's how I felt. It was like I felt this lightness come over me just by being given another way to see the experience. How exciting, instead of, oh, how sad, this is over. It's like, no, how exciting, something new's coming. It's like, okay, And it was really interesting, but it did throw me. It's like, oh, and I couldn't go back there anymore. Like, huh, all right. So that's very light filled for me. It was like, all right, choose differently, choose something new. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
You know what it reminded me of just now? That I had a visual of, you know, when you go and get your eyes checked and they put the lens over and and then they click it and it changes because maybe it's blurry at first. And then they change it and it's a little bit clearer and they
Yeah.
change it again and a little bit. That reminded me of that, you know? Um, just another sort of, I don't know, that's what came to me. And Gino, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Um, what you just said, Cecilia, instantly reminded me of this documentary I just watched a couple days ago. Maybe you guys have seen it, but it was about the song "We Are the World" from the 1980s and all of the things they had to do, and it had all be done in one day. And you had what, 30 famous celebrities there to sing. And they had to control everybody's ego. They had to do all this stuff to make it work. It was just remarkable. And after watching it for that hour and a half, right at the end, everybody left. And the last person in the room was Diana Ross. And she was sitting there and she was crying. I says, "What's wrong?" She says, "I don't want this to end." Well, it did end, but guess what? Diana Ross went on to have these huge Las Vegas shows, and all of this big career continued. She went on to all different kinds of new things. So I just thought that was kind of cool, and it reminded me exactly what you experienced, Cecilia.
Thank you, Gino. And again, I just had a thought that in a way it's almost like her emotion coming out and everything. She was just allowing her light to shine. I don't know, and took her. That's how it manifested in her life. I don't know.
Mhm.
And Louis Therese, unmute.
I would like to say there was one time a discussion I had with an older gentleman. I was very upset and tearful and everything and everything. And so he said to me, "Why don't you change your mind?" I said, "But how can I? I am experiencing this emotion so vividly. Why must I change my mind?" He said, "But you can change your mind." I said, "No, I can't." He said, "No, what do you want to do? What do you expect?" I said, "No, I think it will take quite a while before I can get over this." He said, "But you can change your mind, and in the next 5 minutes, you can have a complete different outlook in everything." And that is true. And but I have realized it is true, but I don't want to do it because you are in control of your thoughts. But do you always want it to cut it and move on to the next thought, have more control over your emotions and things like that? I can say I feel to ride it out, if I can put it that way. I don't want to change my mind and have a different mindset. I really sometimes feel I must experience. And I remember I told him, "But how can I experience this if I changed my mind? Such a lot of things happened to bring it to this point, and now you expect me to change my mind and have a dull walk ahead of me." So, yeah, I think it is very important to experience emotions. And once you realize you had it and you realize you can move through it, I think that is a great achievement.
Yes, I
Like what John said.
progress. Yeah. I'm sorry, who, Barbara?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to add and build on what Louis Trace was saying because I agree. It's good to
Yeah.
experience your emotions. Sometimes
Mm.
though, for me at least, or at least people I've encountered, have a tendency to like cling on to certain emotions that um, maybe it's ego driven, and it's like I'm gonna be the martyr because that feels good, even though it hurts me. It's my identity or something. And getting back to what you were saying, Julie, about balance, it's finding that balance of when is it time to let this stuff go and then change my mind or move on and have a new mindset. When does it stop serving me, I guess?
Right. It let the process unfold, but then know when it's, it's time. I mean, I can relate to that, just from a point of being angry one and allowing myself to be angry and upset. And it was like, as time went by, it kind of, it rolled out like a roll of carpet, and it came out until I felt, so much better about it and let the anger sort of dissipate. And then I was done, you know. Um, I just wanted to read what Renee put here in the chat. It says, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Dr. Seuss. So, that's cute.
Right. And then Anka added to that, when a
She
friendship
said it with her
ended,
favorite,
I saw this quote and it helped me. Yes.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad, Anka. Yeah, that is a sweet saying.
Um, I
Anka.
want to say here in Romania it's Saint John, and about this quote, it, the name of of my friend was Joanna, and I wrote to her on Facebook today, and she answered me.
I didn't understand that. Can someone?
I had a friendship when I was a little
Oh,
at my granny in summer when I was at the countryside. We were playing at on the streets with she and with other people, other childrens. And when we were 5 years old, about to 15 years old, and
mm,
because of the interests of different interests, she didn't came more after she was in high school, and ended the friendship like this. But we sometimes we wrote, we never forget
yeah.
the
Yeah.
friendship.
I see how what you said applies. Sweet. Thank you, Anka.
With pleasure.
And it's nice that you were able to change your perspective on it.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. That instead of being sorry that you hadn't heard from her, it was being grateful that you had the experience with her. And then I find it interesting that when you change that attitude, she responded to you. It's just that kind of energetic change, letting go.
Yeah, you smiled and because it happened, that's
Yes, I did. It was hard to me, but acceptable because of this quote.
beautiful. We have a couple of more minutes. Louis Therese, yes.
Every time when we do experience emotions, from as high to medium to down, that up and down is exactly always in a correspondence. And that is what makes and give your life a real substance, because otherwise it will be a flat line. And the more you experience, the more you are capable of being prepared for the next experience, either the happiness or the whatever. experiencing life with the emotions prepare you to have a fulfilled and a joyful experience, because both sides, as happy, so sad, so happy. So it makes you a complete person, I reckon, if you allow emotions to let it flow through you from both sides.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let them flow. I like that. Definitely. Well, everybody, thank you, Louis Therese, and everyone for joining today. And don't forget to, okay, I always forget this part. B, help me out.
Oh, like us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel and leave comments if you watch it.
Yes, what she said. Thank you, everyone.
See
See you next week.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.